Next guest is Pershing Square CEO Bill Ackman. He has been one of the most outspoken voices against anti-Semitism on college campuses in America. Has also pushed for 3 university presidents to resign since that Capitol Hill hearing early last month, during which those leaders were widely seen as not defending their Jewish student populations. 2 university presidents did resign. One of them, now former Harvard leader Claudine Gay, became embroiled in a plagiarism scandal, a topic which has now touched on Ackman's own family. Bill Ackman is here, and this is your first major television interview since this all began. We did talk once briefly on Squawk. I think you had called in to talk about what was happening, but in the past couple of weeks...
That was about DEI, though.
That was about DEI, but over the past couple of weeks, you have been active throughout on X, outspoken on all of these issues, especially as there have now been attacks against your wife around the idea of plagiarism. I want to sort of just untangle all of this, because I think people are trying to understand what is motivating you, how this all began, what you're trying to do. There are issues about DEI and free speech and other things as well. But you have become one of the most influential, provocative, and polarizing voices in this debate. So let's start with where this began back in October for you.
It actually began before October, and it began in this room. You know, this is our boardroom at Pershing Square. It also happens to be the place we host our Pershing Square Foundation board meetings, a board that my father was a member of. And literally every meeting, my dad would say, "Bill, you're just not doing enough about anti-Semitism. I think it's a really important problem. You need to focus on it." And I was very dismissive of my dad. I love my father. He's passed away in May.
You dismissed your dad when he said that?
I said, look, the Jews are doing great. I'm not experiencing, I don't see Jews experiencing a lot of anti-Semitism. And we focus on economic empowerment. We focus on enhancing people's ability to, 1-acre farmers in Kenya, things like this. And then Dad had heart surgery coming up, and he was very concerned about it because it was kind of life or death. And he wrote me 3 letters. One was, here are my instructions. If I die, memorial service, etc. This is what I want you to do with your mom, financial estate planning. The third one was like a long letter about anti-Semitism. He said, look, Bill, I want my last words to you to be, this is something you need to focus on. And I didn't do anything, to be honest. And then October 7th happened. And it was really October 8th. And it was when 30-odd Harvard student organizations, my alma mater, came out and said, the morning after the most horrendous, barbaric terrorist acts in history, at least in modern history for sure, they came out and said, you know what, it's Israel's fault. Israel's solely responsible for these horrendous, heinous acts. And then that was the beginning of this journey. Yeah.
And you have taken, dare I say, an activist approach to this.
Yes.
You've also been criticized for the activist approach. There's been some who have been very praiseworthy of what you have done in terms of pushing on these issues. But at the same time, there has also been a remarkable backlash. And we're now seeing that backlash manifest itself in the attack on your wife as it relates to accusations of plagiarism.
Yes.
How has that made you feel? And has it changed your view about how to approach these things? Because there's some who say this was really great, what you were doing. But there's others who say that you have taken it to some degree too far. And in fact, by being such a big figure in this conversation, that it actually has made it harder to get what you want.
I disagree. Actually, I think, first of all, if you're going to go out there in the public eye and you're going to make statements, strong ones, about issues that are controversial, you're going to be criticized. Hopefully, you're going to be applauded as well. When they go after your wife, you know that you're making some progress. I mean, I feel very, the worst of this is for Neri, who did no wrong, who said nothing really publicly. But it means we kind of hit a chord, if you will. Like I talked about it, it started with anti-Semitism on campus. Then I got concerned about governance at Harvard. Not just the president, but when the board, in my view, didn't do the right thing. Then I broader concerns about higher education generally, and then the origins of anti-Semitism on campus, I think, which result from the so-called DEI movement. I think these are very important issues, and these are issues that will require resources to be focused upon. And I was extraordinarily committed before. I'm undeterred. Actually, I'm standing up an organization very shortly to focus on precisely this. What's
that organization going to do?
It's going to be, I would say, the problem with think tanks is they write a bunch of papers, nothing happens. I would say it's going to be a think and do tank. It's going to be an activist. We're going to study these issues, and we're going to come up with solutions to problems, and we're going to implement.
And what are those issues as you see them? This is about anti-Semitism, or this is about free speech, or this is about DEI, or this is about governance, or plagiarism?
All the above. All the above. So, I have a day job, Pershing Square, my job I love. And at the early days of Pershing Square, I paid my own bills. But you know what? That's not a good use of my time, so I hired some people to do that. I used to do all of my own philanthropy, but that started to become a bigger responsibility, so I set up a foundation, have a board of directors, hired a team. This, I've done other initiatives like this. You and I were on TV to talk about child sex trafficking and visas, providing the payment rails, if you will, for pornography sites, or YouPorn. And it was a 30-minute interview and a few tweets.
Yep.
This is a bigger project, and it's now, this kind of activism now requires, sort of a serious team. We've got some extra space. I'll rent some space. I'll hire some people, hire a CEO, put together a board of directors, and we're going to go after these issues in a very aggressive way.
I think there's a lot of people who are watching you write on X, almost by the hour, constantly. Can you just take us inside both your own head on this, your home, what this has felt like? Because there's an interesting dynamic at play, which is you have long been somebody who has attacked others in the context of activism. And now, in some cases, arguably, you are being attacked. And your family's being attacked.
I was attacked before. Remember, if you're an activist short seller, you undergo the most aggressive attacks. So I'm kind of a battle-hardened person, right? MBIA tried to put me out of business. They did a pretty good job. Sicking Elliot Spitzer on me years ago, if you remember that one. And then, of course, Herbalife was a, to the end of the earth campaign, I would say, on both sides.
Is this different?
Yes. It's much more important. Much more profound. It affects many more people. It's not just about a company, right? It's about society. It's about education. It's about free speech. It's about, not just higher education. It's about nursery school to, K through 12 education.